Hey guys, I followed Lee's 1 week challenge, aka the Lose Your Gut challenge last year, and had a satisfying habits in lifting. Lately, I have lost motivation, loss of full body workout training, and my common law doesn't support my goal to just be fit. How do I re-motivate myself? All right, so he was making good progress last year, fell off the bandwagon. How do you get back on track? I can certainly relate to that. Do you want to touch on it, Jeff? Do you have any strategies on that one?
Well, for the loss of motivation, I would say don't focus on being motivated, because there's very rarely a day where I wake up and I feel super motivated to go work out. Instead, what I do is I focus on the discipline of going no matter how I feel. And if I get there and I start warming up and like 9 times out of 10, I end up having a great session and I end up enjoying it and I love it. And it's one of the best parts of my day. So, but if I listen to that initial reaction when I wake up of, hey, just skip it today. You've been working hard. You don't need to go do that today. Take a break, recover, whatever.
Or you just don't feel motivated.
Or I just don't feel motivated. Yeah. Or if I listen to that, and I mean, I'm missing out on that. I'm missing out on one of the best parts of my day. And it always, I never regret it. I never regret a workout ever.
After it's done, yeah.
After it's done, yeah. I mean, the hardest part is honestly just warming up, like putting the shoes on, right? Getting a little bit of a pump, a little bit of a sweat going, and just kind of building up that energy. But once you're all warmed up and everything, like the motivation takes care of itself. Another thing I think is important too is keeping a log of your lifts. So I log all of my lifts and like how much weight I lifted and how many reps I did. And my motivation is going into the gym and trying to beat those numbers. And that motivates me quite a bit. Because I have goals. I have things that I want to achieve, and I know it's like small action steps every day that are going to lead you to the end goal, or to the bigger picture. So I try to create those small steps, right? And the small step would be like making progress on a lift. And you're not going to make progress on the lift if you skip the workout.
Don't lift. Yeah, right. If you don't
lift. So that to me is very motivating. And I mean, and of course also just the health benefits of it as well. Like, I mean, I've lived on both ends of the spectrum. I've been fat and overweight and not healthy and not working out and not lifting. And I've also been 100% dedicated to it for years on end. And I can tell you from experience on living on both ends of the spectrum that being fit and healthy is a way more satisfying and rewarding life than the opposite. And that's my motivation. I never want to go back to how I was before. I'm so much happier and I live such a more rewarding and fulfilling life now that I have no desire to ever go back to the way I was. It's not hard for me anymore. I enjoy it and I love who I've become and I want to continue that.
The big thing that I'm hearing from that, this is your identity. Like you see yourself now as this healthy, fit person, working out, eating healthy. It's not just I'll do it if I feel motivated. It's like this is your identity. It's who you are, right? And to kind of give you an analogy of how this works, I've used this one in our Lose Your Gut challenge. So if you went through our Lose Your Gut challenge, you probably heard me say this one before, Eric. But imagine if I had a cigarette and I was offering it to 2 people, and I offer a cigarette to one person and they say, "No thanks, I'm a non-smoker." And then I offer a cigarette to somebody else and they say, "Well, I'm trying to quit." No, in the moment, both are saying no to the cigarette, but like who's going to be saying no over the long term, right? The person who identifies as a non-smoker or the person who identifies as a smoker who's trying to quit? Like that's a big shift. Instead of trying to quit, you want to like just shift that identity and say like, that's it, I'm a non-smoker. And it's such a powerful shift because that's an identity. That's who you see yourself as. And this can relate to fitness because we see the similar things. Like a lot of people say, well, I'm trying to work out, or I'm trying to lose weight, or I'm trying to get back at it, or whatever. Like you're just like that smoker who's trying to quit. You don't see yourself as that healthy, fit person. You see yourself as an unhealthy or inconsistent person who's trying. And like Yoda said, it's do or do not. There is no try, right? So, I mean, we really had to make that identity shift, and that's the big one. And another analogy that I like to use is think of your job, like whatever it is that you do. Do you wait till you're motivated to go to work in the morning? Like if you wake up Monday morning, you say, I'm not motivated, I'm not going to go in today. I'll go in when I'm motivated. You're probably not going to be working very long because you get fired from that job and they'll find someone else who will do the job. So working out is kind of like going to your job. It's something you do because it's who you are. It's what you do, right? Regardless if you feel motivated or not, it's just, that's your identity, right? Like you identify yourself as a working man who's, whatever it is that you do for a living, that's who you are. That's what you do, right? Regardless if you're motivated or not. So fitness has to be in that category as well. And this is very powerful, is the identity of who you see yourself as, and not just waiting for that spike of motivation to take action. But like I say, this is a big topic. I mean, this is something we could go on and on with, but I think the big one is the identity, and also your environment. Your environment is more powerful than your willpower.
Yeah.
So getting around people who are at a higher level, and this could be going to the gym, making friends with people at the gym and letting their positivity influence you, like wanting to be like those people, because we are the average of the 5 people we hang around with. So if you're hanging around people who are not into exercise, not working out, not taking care of their health and fitness, chances are you're going to be pushing that direction as well. Vice versa, if you hang around people who are active and healthy and pursuing their fitness goals, then that's going to motivate you, right? Like we hang around people like ourselves, like rich people hang around rich people, poor people hang around poor people, computer nerds hang around computer nerds, musicians hang around musicians, like people hang around like-minded people. Like in your case, Jeff, right? I mean, you actually have a gig to go to tonight very shortly, after we finish this video chat.
I do.
You hang around other musicians, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, that motivates you to play music and keep going. Yeah. Now, if nobody in your life or nobody in your social circle played an instrument and it was just you relying on self-motivation, I mean, like that probably wouldn't last that long. Like, no, if there was no external motivation for you to play music, right? Like, but everybody you're around, like you work at a music school. So, I mean, boom, there's the music identity right there. You go play in the band on the weekends. There's the music identity. Like you're being like the people you're around. Yeah. So your environment is huge. So you got to get around people who are operating at a higher level. And you said that, what was it? He's had Mary's question. His common law doesn't support his goal. Well, that's fine, right? But you got to get around some people who are supporting your goal. I mean, it would be nice if she was working out as well, but it doesn't have to be. Like, I think in your case, Jeff, like your wife doesn't work out with you. Is that?
No, like, she doesn't work out with me. No. But
so she doesn't play music with you either, does she?
No, she doesn't. No.
You don't need to have your significant other, necessarily doing what it is you're doing, but you got to have some people in your life who are doing it and then fuel off that. So, don't use that as the excuse that, I can't work out because my wife isn't working out, or, you can get around other people. And then the cool thing about that is this day and age, you can also get around people virtually, right? It's not just who you spend time with in real time, in real life, which, don't get me wrong, that is very powerful, but it's also the people you spend time with virtually. Like right now, we're virtually spending time together. So myself and Jeff are our feedback and insights and habits, and I mean, this is indirectly rubbing off on you, right? The more you take it in, the more it's going to have an impact. But also try to get around people in the real world as well, and those people pull you up to a higher level versus getting around people who are going to pull you down to a lower level.